Vijay. Yes, Dr. TPS.
Yeah, Prasad ji. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, in most of the autonomous institutions now, this design thinking was introduced in the first year of BTech. Is it the right place that just students are entering into the engineering of intermediate, and then this design thinking as a just like a theory subject they are teaching, but the purpose of it is not served if it is offered in the first semester or second semester of their engineering. I feel it should be at least up to second year. By the time they have some idea about the some of the technical subjects of their particular their group. So I think
anyway, nothing wrong in introducing at any level, but the more it will be serving people who are wanted to design something by themselves, entrepreneurship. Beginning probably some 2-3 years back, it was only like a supplementary program, added programs and all that. But I don't think every engineering college, the whole India. Yeah.
So one question I have, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Soli. So design project our KTU syllabus is having. In the best way, how can we do in our colleges for the students and all? How can we direct them to do in the best for them to improve the design skill?
I'll tell you. Good night, Anusha. Maybe it's too late for you. We'll say tata bye bye. You can show your face once. Okay.
Hi, Anusha. Bye. Thank you.
See, what I do generally for projects when students come, I ask them to do the objective and scope and practicability. If these two things are not there, the project is only an academic fooling, nothing more. It's not even a good exercise. You are wasting your time, you are wasting the time of many people, evaluation, discussions, everything goes waste. So what is essentially required is, assume that in very specific subject like civil engineering you wanted to do, you could go and spend time in place where it is really happening. I'll tell you, when I used to travel, if a new bridge, the railway cross bridge is being built, sometime it happened when we have a ring road, the bridge was under construction and we are going to college. I also travel in the bus or the college bus, or maybe we had a special bus for faculties. I used to tell all the college bus, stop here, let them see this now, because tomorrow you cannot see that. Then some faculty keep saying we will be late. I said nothing wrong. This is something which you have to learn on the ground, which you can never get in your life later. You understood? So the project can be, go to the field and look at what's happening, the way it is installed. And digitally there are a lot of things happening around. I don't know how many people know the piling. It's a beautiful mechanism to learn piling. How does it happen? And Burj Khalifa, one of the tallest building. A civil engineering student must be eager to speak to the person who did that piling. I don't know how many people.
KTU is not supporting that. KTU is not supporting that.
No, that's what I said. Academically, we are doing a lot of things which can be done. That's one part of it. But still, I'll tell you, my son is also an engineer. He did a project under what the university require. But all holidays I have sent him to some industry. That is my initiative. I have got sufficient contacts. What I did was, when he comes for 3 days in Iringalakuda, immediately I will send him for the cattle feed manufacturing unit where there is some mechanical equipment. Go and take a review, find out what improvement it can be done. That's your task for 2 days. Later, I had sent him to the heavy water plant here for Department of Atomic Energy. It was not part of academic project at all. I have sent him to BHEL. He has done in ISRO as a project, major project. Most of the industries around where I could have a handle, I have sent him. When he went to Department of Atomic Energy, he found that that's more interesting. Now he is a nuclear scientist in America. Not because what project he has done, not because what academics he has done. Just because outside the class how he has done. See, we all require a degree because without the first step you cannot get into the second step. But nobody stops you when you are in the first step or second step to look around and then learn many things around. The step is required to get you into up and up. But who stops you? And that is what is mentoring, I'll tell you. Academically passing, getting a certificate is not a big task. What is more important is how well you do with extra mileage. I'll tell you, when Anusha came to me, I wanted to have a website. But she's a computer science student. I asked, do you know how to make it? It's not part of our syllabus. I said, doesn't matter. Syllabus is made 10 years back, 5 years back. But today, making a website is one of the big thing which you can do. But then I must have been a tough master asking many requirements. Whatever I upload in my YouTube should come into my website. Hey, it's not possible. I said, what is not possible? Before she took birth, I started learning computer science. Don't tell me what is not possible. Computer science will give you handle. How to use it is your ability. I want that to happen. That's it. Forget about whether you are using Java or .NET. I don't care. I want this to happen. My Twitter should come. Today it is coming everywhere. But that was not the situation 10 years back when it was developed. And it was in 2010 I met. Within a year I started giving assignments. Yeah, I am only a third year student. How does it matter? You can jump on to anybody, get it, learn. You want to help you want, we will do it. But do it. That's my job. Every day, the content is put. My blog should come into my website. You can see my blog is also in website. Because I don't want to handle my website. I want to handle my blog. I want to handle my Twitter. I want to handle my Facebook. I want to handle my every other possibility like a blog. But it should come there. Now tell me, how do you do it? It's your headache. That was a real pressure. If you are ready to take that pressure, what is the advantage? MIT, you know how many people apply? Almost a lakh. How many of them apply with 5 years of experience? Almost 10,000 from India. How many of them from Infosys? Millions of them who are working abroad, they want to have a degree. They only apply in the best universities there. And nothing, only a BTech after that 2 years, including internship. They asked, what is extra to you? What is extra to you? You have done a website. How many people do website for somebody else? You understood? So that is what makes you different. Are you ready to run an extra mile? So what is the internship given in MIT? You have to support the website of MIT. Can you imagine a student who gets admission in computer science gets an internship in which you have to maintain the website itself? Or look at that. That is designing. Because when you look at it, you are demanding. This is my requirement. That is design thinking. This is my requirement. I want like this. The planning in the beginning, it may not be there. I keep on demanding more and more, more and more. That's how you construct your house also, right? In civil engineering, constructing house. I have a house constructed where I was staying last 25 years. I have never felt that, oh, this door should not have been here. This rack should not have been here. This should not have been opened here. But I do a lot of planning. Architecture is one of my best job. I have an old house in Kerala, 200-year-old house. I called engineers. I want to remodify this to live 50 students when they come. Hey, these old you have to demolish and reconstruct. No, nothing will, weight will not be able to, no, otherwise you have to have a concrete around it like a belt with a lot of pillars and then give a strength to the main building. Then you can have, I said, go, I will do it. I called my 10th classmate who was doing a mason's job and then he only construct compound walls, nothing more than that in his life. I said, you want to improve, you want to do your first RC, concrete work, come to me. Stay in my house, you are doing it. I made him a contractor, I made him a mason, I made him a person who can do concrete job. I was the designer, I did it. The whole thing is available. Construction, DrTPS, look at my YouTube. Starting from the house, how it is ended, everything is there. But I was traveling for lectures, I found one day the whole roof on the top, which is for a meditation hall. In the original, it was only 3 feet height, the second floor. He has also did a steel work on 2 feet. I said, no, I want to lift it up to 8 feet. So now after all the roofing, what is to be done? I said, bring the jockey, cut it off, lift it as it is, insert in between and then do it. Sir, if it collapses, no problem. If it collapses, my money goes. You see that your life is saved. If at all it is falling, let it fall somewhere else, not on your head. That's it. Take that risk. So I'll tell you, are you ready to do that risk? That is what is essential. You will have to do something which is creative. Not your project, what you do will survive you. You should run little higher, little faster. Not everybody does it. But do you have that? Will you be able to do that? Then I'm sure you will get an extra. I remember in an MBA program, 4 batches, nearly 100 students, 400 students came out. None of them got a job because it was not a great college. I was there in that college as a professor. I said, management, 2 years, I will take care of it. I asked all of them, go to the village, go to the nearby taluk, go to the city, find out what problem they have. I will pay every day 300 rupees to you, pocket money. Go, find out a good project. Whoever gets good project, I will give you 5,000 rupees. What I did was, I asked all of them to collect all the details about the business which they do. Everything was collected digitally, made into a book form, and that was the advertisement for that whole area. And that book was taken and then said, we are going to print it 10,000 copies. Are you ready to fund this? So it was like an advertisement. You remember old telephone directory we had. When the mobile came, telephone directory vanished. I created a telephone directory for the business people with all the advertisement in each page. We collected more than 10 lakhs rupees in few months. That is business. I told this is business. 90 children, they earned themselves, and that became project. 23 of them got a job at the third semester itself. Everything can be put into the form what the university want. You can always have a certification. It's not a big job. Only thing, you must have that liberty, you must have that freedom, you must have, that's why I said we want good different institution who looks for practical applications being done by students. Otherwise we are wasting our lot of energy. I'll tell you, when you run an engineering college, you have got at least 100 faculty say. They're all senior managers under you. It's like a big factory. And you have got another 10,000 students. 1,000 workers are there. So you can run like an industry. It's 1,000 engineers working under you with 100 managers. That is what you should look at every engineering college. Now what we want is, we wanted to always find fault saying that no, administration doesn't allow, the university doesn't allow. Ultimately what we want is not that. Satisfying in paper is easy, but I was also part of government. What is essentially required is, you need to have that extra courage. I don't know how many of you have seen Walter Levin. Anybody has heard Walter Levin?
Sir, should I ask few things?
No, I asked a question, Jayanti ma'am. Do you know who is Professor Levin?
No.
None of you. No, if Jayanti doesn't know, I don't care. But if somebody has got a flavor of physics, doesn't know, that's actually a crime. Anybody? Professor Walter Levin from MIT. He is one of the best physics professor. Love of physics, love for physics. That's his textbook. Do you know he teaches in MIT a small rule like Newton's third law? You just type in Newton's third law, Professor Levin, and get back to me and with a WhatsApp, at least to say thank you to me for introducing to that video. I think the whole 3 days workshop worth it, I'll tell you. He is one of the best professor where you can learn plenty of things in life. I'll tell you, assume I don't have anything else, so I'll just use this. Assume I wanted to teach you what is simple pendulum. This is only an earring. It's not, I am not prepared for that, but still I'll tell you. Assume that if I hold this and then swing like this, if it is swinging like this, what does it mean? Simple pendulum. And if this thread, if I increase it more, the swing rate will change, frequency will change. The weight doesn't matter. The string length, therefore it is directly proportional to the length of the string. See, this is how you should teach. That's how Walter teaches. That's how I learned how to teach physics. Now, I will tell you another great philosophy behind it. Assume that below this I keep a magnet, because every speaker has got a magnet, so I am using this mobile phone. You can see automatically the swinging happened to be vertical from the horizontal. I made this to swing like this, but then I kept the phone, it started swinging the other way. There is a great principle in physics which says when you have a magnetic influence, anything which is in this horizontal direction will have a chaotic motion and then go into the vertical direction. Very simple. See, assume that you are running your college house. That's like a simple pendulum. For many people, life is like a simple pendulum. But in between, one guest comes to you from somewhere else and he has to be taken to hospital every day. What will happen? You will have a chaos at home. You don't know what to do, when to adjust, how things will move. And soon after that, what will happen? Your move will happen from home to hospital and back. You understood? This is what is, when an external force comes to you, it changes. It's a great philosophy. So physics runs with the philosophy, with the life. If I tell you the theory of this, I'm sure all of you will forget. If I tell you like this, you are not going to forget this basic theory in your life. When you read, you will recollect. You will see how Walter teaches about simple pendulum. He keeps a big ball, no big ball. Previous day of the class, what he does is he will pick a big chain, he will swing himself. And what will happen? At the end of the wall, he will keep a mirror or a sharp knife. And from this end, he will swing. And once he swings, you will see almost that you are going to dash with the knife. What will happen? And he will not touch that knife. He will come very close to the knife and then get rid of that. He will say, I have faith in physics and I have faith in the person who left me from this end. It is natural fall. You will not go up to the end. If it is a push, definitely you will go and hit at the knife. So I have faith in my students who pushed me, who did not push me, who left me from there. See, there is a difference between leaving and pushing. But assume that the student has to push us, finished. The knife will be on his body. So this is what? Physics is what you feel, what you experience. Sakshat anubhavair drishto na sruto na guru darshitaha lokanam upakaraya etat sarvam pradarshitam. What is science? Science is not what can be told by a professor. What you can experiment yourself, experience yourself. How do you experience without getting into the field? Sakshat anubhavair. Experiencing is essential. Nasruto. What you heard is not learning. Don't hear and then learn. Experience. But when I give you one story, probably you can make it internally and then start making your imagination around it. See, if I tell you how to make a dosha, to a person who never has seen a dosha, a Chinese fellow who has never seen a dosha, if I ask him how to make a dosha, I will have to start from pizza. Because he knows what is pizza. But I know pizza is not dosha. But today if I want to teach a mother in Kerala how to make a pizza, I will have to start from dosha. You understood? Now I will tell you, you take a dosha. I am not making dosha, I am making a different item. It's almost like a dosha, and on which you have to make a cream. You put a cream. Now what cream you put? It is your imagination. I did not tell you what cream to put. I am sure Bhavana would have put a white cream there. Maybe Nila would have put a brownish cream there. How do I know? I did not prescribe. So it's your creativity. So whatever syllabus says is only put a cream. How to put it? It's your imagination. It's your creativity. Okay, now did you put that? Now I will teach you a new item. Beautiful item. So you take that, put an ice cream on top of it. Take a little bit of chopped tomato and then put over that. Put a cheese around it. And then put another dosha on top of it. And then reverse it and then bake it. And what you get is called a kisapus. Now did you make a kisapus, all of you? Yes or no? Yeah, there is nothing called a kisapus in this world. I just made it for you. Okay. See, if you know something, if I tell you, you will not be creative. If you don't know something, if I tell you, you will become creative. So how to make your students creative? Don't give solutions. Ask them to do it. When to do it? See, I'll tell you, for last 2 days I was asking you send a WhatsApp. But including that Bhuvana is not sending a WhatsApp to me, yeah. The Bhavana is not sending a WhatsApp to me. That means she is not my student. I am not giving salary to her. If I was giving salary instantaneously, Neetu would have sent. I am only reading name because I am seeing your picture very close to my display. That's it. Even if you tell to show the face, Grishma will not show the face because she already put a beautiful picture of her or somebody's, some actress. And let people believe Grishma's face is like this. That's it. She don't want to her. So if I am paying salary, you will listen. If I am the authority, you will listen. It is not your intention. It doesn't come from you. So what is creativity? It comes from you. If somebody tells you, don't have to do that. If it comes from you, you are a designer. It comes from you, you are a leader. It comes from you, you are a communicator. If it comes from somewhere else, you are only a copier. And such people will never become genuinely. They may become professor, they may become director. But we had Prime Minister once. When Prime Minister was talking, nobody was listening. The whole house was making noise. And the Prime Minister has to tell, at least don't listen to me, yeah, but listen to the chair. It is the place where Nehru sat and Indira Gandhi sat. Imagine the Prime Minister's pittiness when he has to call attention, not by his merit, by calling. I know people who knows that Prime Minister will know this. And the last day when he was thrown out of Prime Ministership, he gave a beautiful lecture. And I wish he would have given that lecture in at least sometime in his life, he would have become great. Understood? So it doesn't come to you genuinely. Many people have to do a lot of preparatory work. So what is your work? Make students to do that preparatory work. Academically make them prepare, but give them some challenging job. And that challenging job is what gives them a great initiative to become better and better in life. Good enough? I thought I will speak up to 11:30 with all this. So I introduced you Walter Levin. I also introduced, the other day I was asking who was the youngest mathematics professor I want to call. Yes, he is called God of Maths. I think he is called the God of Maths. I'll ask you a few great questions also. But if there are no answers, doesn't matter. A person who can ask good questions, they are remembered. So you should have a mentor who drives you through life mission, not academic mission. Academics, you don't require anybody. You should have a growth plan. You should have a professional plan. The other day I was talking about the stress and tension difference. So you should be stressful so that your production will become better. Challenging job, courageous activity. There has to be a purpose. That is what is essential. Okay?
One more question I have, sir.
Yeah.
Not directly related to the design thing and all.
Yeah.
As a mentor.
Yeah.
Mentor, how can we identify the fast learners and slow learners other than the mechanism of the grade point? Can you suggest some other? And how can we give some follow-up action for them?
Yeah, there is a 4th quadrant rule in this. What is the 4th quadrant rule? Assume that you have an x-axis.
Okay.
Are you drawing an x-axis? That's how a engineer or a student or a teacher has to do. When you draw an x-axis, you have a low mood and a high mood. Everybody has got, hey, today I am not, it's not in good spirit, correct? So you have a low mood and a high mood. Did you draw that? And then a y-axis which says high energy and low energy. Everybody has this every day. So how do you make somebody very reactive? In the first quadrant you have high energy and high mood. Everything will work good. Suppose you have low energy and low mood. In the 3rd quadrant, things will not work. That's the answer for me. I'll tell you, analyze. Is it good today? Is it good to do this? Which could be your creativity. It could be your academics knowledge what you gave. It could be the challenge. What you should look, you have a technology, you have a customer who can take, that means it should have an application really. And do you have this workforce, the environment which you created to support him? And technology can be your mobile or platform, whatever is open source, machine learning, artificial intelligence, automation, or maybe the advanced internet of things, what you want. What is that application, objective and scope with which I am working? If that is done, workforce can be created. You can have staff, you can have virtual staff, we can have colleagues. Will you be able to get all of them into place? Without resistance. I'll tell you, there is a great saying, 70% of things doesn't happen because the institution have got a resistance. If institution doesn't have a resistance, things will work very fast. Got it? So that is what the environment you have to create. When you create that environment, so team matters, the change spirit which the teacher, mentor, mentee has. Not, I told you yesterday also, 10% will not be requiring you at all because they are bright and brilliant. Another 10%, even if you put your effort, it will not work. And another maybe 80% is what you are focusing, where you need that leadership, you need that culture. Assume that you are in Bombay, you cannot walk in the street because everybody is running, you also have to run. So the organization culture matters. Right? See, I'll tell you, I went to one of the colleges and somebody asked, in a medical college in Kerala, why my children are not passing medical science? I don't know whether I told you or not. They are not passing in 5 years. They are taking 10 years. I said, look at the building outside. None of them are complete. Everything is half constructed. So every day they are seeing that, definitely they will also have a feeling, yeah, project has to go on. Nothing is to be completed. So your environment supports a lot. That is required. So what is that? You have to look at observation, look at what is around you, interpret it well, and that is the culture which you create. So around that culture, interpretation, and your innovation and your observation, that is what is required. How do you put them into design thinking? Insert yourself totally inside and understand. The other day I went to one of the Asia's biggest entrepreneurship lab, incubation center, that's in Warangal. I was called for a program. Half construction, everything is happening there. I said, why are you in a hurry? And you call it is completed. It is not completed, it is still working. So how do you imagine things when everything is around noise? Like Vivekananda said, you cannot meditate on the crossroads, right? So you need to have that. And what is essential, when somebody comes with an idea, I told you yesterday also, 1 minute manager carries monkeys on his shoulders. Don't turn him off. Give him more job. So if somebody comes with an idea, immediately I'll tell him, yeah, you have this idea. Why can't you make a document out of it? Because many people come with idea. Yesterday, as soon as the session is over, somebody came and told me, sir, I have a beautiful system where which, the doctors are testing their pulse with the stethoscope, but today we cannot go and show him. So we can connect some equipment here on laptop and then connect it there. I said, fantastic. But do you know what's a pulse meter? See, you are making a small problem into a big problem. Some people have got this tendency. Very simple problem. What is required is you have a vision. And what is a mission? Mission is to look at what others are doing around you. Be aware of that. And that, how does it apply into action? If it is already done by somebody else, don't complicate and do something else. I remember in Cochin University, in one of the seminars, we used to have a intra-departmental seminars. One physics person came and started, a problem started and formulation is over. He got the equations, he was trying to solve it. And that was only second order ordinary differential equation. To solve it, he has converted it into many transformations and made it into 3-dimensional partial differential equation. And he was keep on solving it. Everybody was looking, it's a big problem. I said, you started with a smaller problem. You transformed it into a bigger difficult problem. Actually, when you want to solve, you want to dilute the problem, right? Why are you complicating it? Then only he himself has found, yeah, it is true. I've started with a smaller problem. I made it big. Some people have this tendency. So what is your mentor's job? Look at it in a panoramic view. Don't get into the problem. Getting into the problem is student's problem. That's what professors should do. I keep asking my professor, whenever there is a simpler problem, you solve it, and difficult problem, you give it to your students, right? Then he said, that's how I produced 41 PhDs in my life. So that is what a professor has to do. If problem can be solved, he will solve it and publish a paper, yeah? Why he has to share with somebody else and become the third author? he can become the first and the single author, right? So when you are publishing paper with some other student, that shows you are not able to solve that problem. You gave that problem to your student. That's great. You can produce 300 papers. Wonderful. That's good enough. But the question is, have you understood? So that is professor's job. That is the difference between yourself and becoming a professor. I can go on and on, but I thought I will speak only up to 11:30. Stopped at 11:39 because of that question. That's a beautiful question. Dr. Soli, you must understand where is the fence. Where am I standing? Where are my students standing? Either it is in BTech or in PhD, things are same. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I'll tell you that needs a great design thinking. One more joke with Abdul Kalam. When he was Department of Defense, he called the gardener. He loves Kerala always. He was in Hyderabad. Once in a while he comes and the gardener comes there and the contract is garden is to be maintained, new plants have to be put. Abdul Kalam was going for a morning walk. The gardener is seeing him all the day. And then the gardener went and asked, "Sir, you have any suggestions on this?" He said, "Yeah, I have simple suggestion. This route, where I go for morning walk. On both sides I want a coconut tree." Yeah, next day 100 coconut trees were planted. Abdul Kalam was so happy. Next day he went on another route. Third day he went on another route. 7 days, the whole campus coconut trees. So you must be very careful to talk to brilliant people. They will actually put you into fuss. Okay, that's creativity. That's how you get into contractual agreement. Yeah, good enough, I think.
Sir, can I ask a personal question?
Yeah, personal we should have in personal.
No, sir.
No
but,
secret.
If I'll not ask, maybe throughout the day I'll think about that.
Yeah.
So it's better that. Sir, do you plan things? And how much time you give planning?
See, I'll tell you, Jayanti, for your email asking me to send a paper for a conference in Bhagavad Gita, the answer which I gave was negative. I don't know whether you read that or not.
Yes, sir. I have gone through, but then
I wrote
that you-
saying that I doubt if I can make it. That means I am not going to present a paper.
But
But
sir, you
then
will
what
do
she
that.
did was she gave a reply saying, "Thank you so much for accepting our invitation." And I will send the details as soon as possible. Okay, so what I did was, that shows you accepted, you understood what I want. So immediately I saw the date, August 27 to 28. So what I did is, on my desktop, I create a directory, the file. The file will be 21082728. Once I create that, means I have blocked the date for you. That is how my plan is. Nothing is there in the directory. It's only one directory. So whenever somebody comes with a program, assume that tomorrow I get a problem. Tomorrow I have to answer somebody. That can be a small question by Nila. What I will do is I will put one Google Meet and then block my time there, and immediately I get message saying that tomorrow from this time to this time you are busy. So once I block it, assume soon after that Dr. Sojan comes with a proposal that we want a seminar. I know, oh, this is only one person, but here there are 100 people who want me. So what I do, immediately I will send a message to Nila saying that, is it possible for me to postpone it for 3 more days? Because I am blocking this age. This is how I plan. So I plan. But then what do I do? While the introduction, Bhavana was mentioning something, I start thinking what to do. Yesterday there was a question, I think during the session some question was there. I never know the meaning of some of the words, but just comes. But then after all that is answered, I keep looking at it. Yes. How do you plan for questions which you are asking? And most of my talk is only questions and answers. Yeah. Then I plan for my lunch. I plan for my breakfast. All that is done. Okay. So today I don't have time because it goes up to 12:30. So I asked my wife to get lunch from the office. Okay. So sometime if I get time, I can cook well. I have got sufficient time. I'll say, yeah, today is my day. I am going to cook. I will have a discovery item. When my wife will ask, what are you going to make? I'll tell you, after making, I'll tell you what can be named. Because I do lot of experiments on cooking. Okay. So I enjoy. Whatever I do, I keep enjoying. That's what I do. So there is no specific plan, but sometimes it tricks. I'll tell you when the title is given, Dr. Sojan, I never even thought about it. But once I gave a title, you asked me to give for 3 days. So what I do, instantaneously I typed it. As it typed, something will come. Then I will try to justify it. But anyway, it is not brain, it is not manas, it is the Atma which works. And that is where you see that your spirituality is working. I have Nila here. Ask Nila. She came to me some time back. I don't even know. But then one message where one number was there stored. Maybe I have got almost a lakh of numbers stored here. So I will take a random 10 number and then send on a day when some program is there. If they are interested, they will hook on me. And when Nila came, immediately asked, are you from Kerala? She must not never asked why I am asking she is from Kerala from the name. Because Nila is the river name in Kerala. Understood? That's a beautiful river. I must have crossed it many times when I travel from Kannur to Cochin. Many people don't even know the name of the river is Nila. So, but then she said no, Tamil Nadu. Then I asked, do you have any relatives in Fiji? I asked. Because when I went to Fiji, there was a resort in Nila. And he happens to have a relative in Tamil Nadu. But then I spoke to her and told her why I asked this question. Got it? So this is, you connect to things. What probably makes you more creative is when you don't plan. Assume that I have got a PowerPoint, I will not be creative. So assume you wanted to design thinking, I will have tens and hundreds of design thinking PowerPoints. Because when we go to Ilahia, I don't know how the campus is, I don't know how the audience is. If it is boring, definitely I will have to use PowerPoint because I don't have to look at the face, I can look at the pictures. But if audience are good, I will not use PowerPoint, I will use only. 2 faces are good enough. 2-3 faces who are appearing here is good enough for me to talk hours together. So if I plan, I will become failure sometime. Poetries are never written with the planning. One line comes, then the rest comes as a flow. So I keep challenging. The same Anusha asked me to write poetry. I said, how many you want? 100. I said, take from today 100 days, 100 poems. Every day give me one topic. That's how 100 points were made. And the whole design is done by her. That's a beautiful design. If you love designing, it's not mine. It's my additions and corrections and additions will be there. But this is a beautiful design, I'll tell you. Everyone loved to look at it. Look at the Rhythm of Life, DrTPS. Beautifully designed. And only executively only 2-3 copies are printed. Every page is color page. So if you become too creative, you should not plan. And if you become too planner, then creative will not come. There is a saying, assume your table is too neat, you will not even read because every time you want to clean it. Correct? There is a saying, your house have to be neat enough to be healthy and untidy enough to be happy. Want to repeat? Assume I come to Jayanti's house and then see everything is perfectly kept. Even the cushions are kept in a brown background, sandalwood color cushion, diagonally kept. Diagonally it will not stand. It's a big circus to keep it diagonally. Correct? And somebody kept it like that. When I go to such houses, I am even scared sitting there. Because the diagonal cushion will definitely become horizontal if I sit there. And once I wake up and go without even keeping it, then what I do is when I wake up, I look back whether the cushion has become perfect, folded or not, put it same way. Sorry ma, I don't know whether this is the way it is to be kept. Because soon after you go, they will say, what a gust you have. They will scold the person who called me in the house. You understood? So life has to be neat enough to be healthy and untidy enough to be happy. Take it from me. So you have to be planner, but you have to be creative. The balancing is what enjoys. Yeah. It's a good question, not a personal question. It's a good message for many people. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Good.
Wonderful. Keep it up. And as we were talking about pile foundation.
Yeah.
I'm an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
So came across
pile foundation. Normally come across that.
Yeah, I know. Earthing and
You know, suddenly I was exposed to this work. Didn't know a damn. 600 mm size pile. And very interestingly, what I used to think was pile foundation, the pile is driven up to the hard rock comes and then the superstructure comes. That was the idea that was in me for whatever civil engineering. We belong to the 5-year batch. So that was in mind. But then I found it is not so. On the beaches, when we do pile foundation, there is a friction. And the friction between the earth and the pile stands the whole superstructure of tons, thousands of tons.
that's true.
This is a learning. So when you get into a job, I could have easily said piling is not my business or anything. When you get into a job, then only you learn. And when you learn more, you find the difficulties. And then I found that piling is a tough job. Some solution has to be poured, some bentonite, something has to be poured. And seen to is that the earth does not fall wherever. So you talked about piling, my mind went back to this. Sorry for digressing.
No, it's not.
You have to do dosa. And my mind again went back to dosa. In Tamil, do is two in Hindi. Sa is some kind of a noise. Osai. Osai in Tamil is noise. Dosai is a term, I believe. Mostly Tamilians make dosa a lot. So when you put the dosa on the pan, it makes one noise swai. When you put it on the other side, it makes another noise swai. So dosa is a term coined from two noises of osai. This is a kind of thing. So you tell these kind of things, people will understand, dosa is different from pizza. It makes two noises. So these kind of things come to my mind. I do not want to.
Good.
But DrTPS, I have enjoyed you all the 3 days, off and down for some mini requirements of the show. But I enjoyed it. You will definitely train good people. You have already done many. And I wish that you succeed. And probably in your next encounter, wherever you are there, I should be a part of it as a listener or as a comparer and something.
See, once you send a WhatsApp to me, your number is there on my broadcast list. Until and unless you delete that number from your telephone, you keep getting my message. You could ignore it, but if you are free, you could join. That's what I do with most of the people.
You will do something and
Sure.
Incidentally, my weight is 62 kgs from age 26. It has remained the same.
Wonderful. Very good. Midam bhuktva shatam jitva patashatam shanai vamabhage shayanasya bishagim kim prayojanam.
I thought you made this remark about your weight. So
True.
Incidentally, I am a clean-shaven man unlike you, and that does not add to the weight.
This has become my signature, and then it attracts a little bit of respect.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I think thank you.
Thank you.
Rupa has raised that.
Yeah, Rupa, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Rupam Rupa Vivarjidasya Bhavado Dhyayena Yat Kalpidam Stutya Nirvajaniyada. The starting is Rupam. Rupam Rupa Vivarjidasya Bhavado. Yeah, tell me, Rupa.
Yeah, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Actually, I have a doubt because of this COVID. We have online teaching.
Yeah.
But what you also said that I remember students, the dress, all that.
Yeah.
So whatever you said, as a teacher also, I'm feeling the same.
Yeah.
The way they sit, in which bench they sit when we are telling classes, all that are recorded in our minds.
Yeah.
But because of this corona, we are into online teaching, but that is not at all giving satisfaction, sir. So how do you justify? Is it for future online teaching? We, the faculty, those who are having interaction with the students, are not feeling this online teaching. So how do you justify in that aspect, sir? I want to know.
Very good question. First of all, don't teach at all in the classroom. They will enjoy. Second one, give them problems. And most of the, yesterday somebody also was asking me the same question. How do you know they are not Googling and getting the answers? What I do is, I will give 5 difficult problems exactly copied from internet.
Okay.
And I will give another 5 simplest problems which I created, which you can never find on internet. And that problem creation can be a small change. Saying Mahesh sold this. I am giving a mathematics problem. Very simple. Mahesh sold the items for 80% less than last year's cost and made a profit of. Instead of Mahesh, you put John there. Finished. They will not be able to get it. Simple problem. Just do it. And what do I do is, when you evaluate, I don't evaluate this 5 which gave in the from the Google. I will evaluate just to test whether they are copier or not. For those people, I will give a negative mark. For those people who answered this, I will give a double mark. Understood? Once you do this, they will become so attentive. They will see, oh, I cannot Google and get it. I admire Google for all its wisdom, but I will tell you that made lot of people to believe I don't have to understand the spelling, I don't have to learn the spelling, because that is there in the dictionary. You understood? And what do people do? They search for answers. There is great difference between searching for answers and learning. There is lot of difference between learning and understanding. A teacher's job is not to teach and test what did they learn. The teacher's job is to understand. That's why I don't like to use the word training at all. I don't train. Training is repeated use of same skill development. You can train a dog to catch the biscuit when you put it. Human beings are not to be trained. Though I use the word training and all, because that is become a nomenclature. Otherwise, individually, I don't like to use the word training. I never do training programs. I am not a trainer at all. You will see nowhere I have written I am a trainer. Somebody writes it, I cannot object. Okay. Otherwise, I will say I am only a thinking creative persons. That's it. Thinking creativity. That's what creativity and thinking. How can you make them productive? So when I teach in the classroom also, I don't teach. I don't train. I make them to discover themselves. So that is why I don't teach subjects. I teach them how to learn. So Rupa has to become a creative teacher, wherein your class will make everybody to think, oh, that's how sometimes what I do is in maths class, I teach them English. I remember when I was teaching in engineering college, sometimes environment science is considered as a mandatory subject everybody has to learn. Therefore, some teachers are put there, some chemistry teachers are appointed. Though another chemistry teacher is not there, subject is given to somebody else. So I remember when environment science teacher left, immediately I picked up and said, principal, I told him I will teach this, because I was a professor without a portfolio. So he said, you will teach environment science, because I love to do it. And I went and teach. Generally 3-4 classes are put together because nobody attends. Attendance is only a normal procedure in engineering college, right? Not very strict as Kerala people are running. In Hyderabad and all, engineering college teachers are so happy that students go for NEET exam, CAT exam, PAT exam, everything outside, so that they will get their salary without teaching. And anyway, things will run. So what is done is, environment science, 3 classes are put together. So generally 180 children will be there. It happens in a hall. But on a day when I went, there are only 30 children. All the CSC together, computer science together was put. Then I asked, why only 30 children? Generally DrTPS class will be full. Other department students also will come and sit, because I will make a lot of jokes, fun and all that. Then they said, sir, afternoon there is a class, examination, test examination, and said, I asked, what is the text? And that is database management. I said, today no environment class. I am going to teach you database management, and I will tell all of you who are sitting in this class will get more than 60%, guaranteed. And so happened, all the children who sat in my environment class scored 80 and above in database management test paper. Those who skipped and went did not get that much. After that, what happened was, that teacher who was teaching database management for CSC became my enemy. Because database management is what I do in my lab. I am the first person who created digital library of satellite images in India, and full of database. Every item is database. I did SQL programming. I worked with Arcinfo, and where we started was Sybase. All that is like, like for a mother who is making dosha, they don't require a geometry box to draw the circle and then put inside that, the atta. Database is like that for me. Maybe computer science is also like that for me. So how does it matter for me? You tell me the problem, I'll tell you the answers. And this is how it is made. So sometime you need to have that extra caliber to understand, attract your children. Do you think any student will leave? I have got a BTech student who went to Indian Institute of Science after BTech for a MTech interview. After the test was passed, interview board decided to tell him, and the result was, no, we don't select you for MTech, we will take you for PhD. You understood? 2 years saved in life. Just now Anusha spoke. She is a Prime Minister's fellowship for BTech, and she did not do MTech. Directly after BTech for PhD. Brilliant students, there are a lot of possibilities, including in Indian institutions, to skip masters and directly go to PhD. Only rarely people get it. So you have to be extraordinary and motivate at least a few of them from your class. The rest of the people, don't worry. They are all here for a certificate. There is a saying 80% of the children in the class are coming for certificates. They want to say they are BTech. I'll tell you, one of the engineering colleges in Kerala advertised that 100% placement. I went to that college 3 months back and then I was stunned to know that 100% placement. Immediately I called the principal and said, and some TV channel, I am not naming the TV channel also. TV channel in Kerala gave award, 100 placement award for that principal at the college. I called and asked, what is this fun, yeah? So only 3 people passed, all of them got a placement. So those who passed got a placement. No, 180 students, only 3 passed, 3 got a placement. Who gave the placement? The management of that college is running some industry. There they got job. Later I found after 6 months they were thrown out of the job also. So anyway, you are in such a system. Don't have to worry about small things. Can you create one? I am telling, when I went and spoke in computer science department, 400 children listen. One Anusha is good enough as a sample. Understood? We look only for that. There are 180 people. Only 10 people responded first day. Second people, another 15 responded. The first 10 who responded first day did not even send a message. So it's natural. That's how we are. But if you do it in Delhi city, out of 50, 49 will respond. See, this is the culture which we have. I'll tell you, in Kannur and all, when you give for a talk and then immediately somebody gives a missed call. They don't even call. They will give missed call only. By mistake, if call back immediately, their father or mother will take, who is this fellow who is calling? Every day this fellow calls and disturbs. Understood? So that's also, we hear all this. Being social life is not that simple. You have to undergo all this. So I am used to this. I am used to this. Yeah. Jimmy has shown hand. Yeah.
Thank you so much, DrTPS. You define a mentor. Like mentor is a person who is taking to a student with a shortcut by his own experience. And thank you so much, sir. And I want to know one thing, like you are giving training to youth. So, like you have a camp in Kannur for youth. Do you have any other camp for adults also?
See,
and one more thing, when I heard from you, I understood that
come on.
many things I missed. I will get to a mentor in the future also.
Jimmy, you will see some of my camps in which mother comes to put the 12th class child. She was from Sharjah, the senior teacher of a school. So she said, same way as Jimmy was telling, she was telling that I also wish to be here. I said, stay. When the children come, I allow their parents or teachers also to come and stay with me. Many of them. And many of them. Yeah.
Then the next thing, for Indian style of teaching and Western style of teaching is different, I think.
Yeah.
Because the Indians, they give hard things in the beginning of the education itself.
Yeah.
So, which is best? What do you think? Which is the best method? Like for training, for giving higher, for training for complex things. For kids, they have different age actually. For some age, they have to enjoy the childhood. We should not waste the childhood. For it is a period when if we are not giving them proper happiness in the childhood, later on we have to give extra effort to compensate that. That is what I understood. I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
I tried 2 methods of parenting. Even my daughter itself told, Mama, you have adopted 2 types of parenting for both of us, because she could identify that. The first child, I was just following what I have seen in the past. But for my second child, I adopted a second child, like let her be free. I took that option actually. So my second child, she's not disciplined and all. She's doing what she likes and she's very happy. But my elder daughter, I gave her a lot of discipline in the beginning, and I found that she's overtense. So now she's tall, and I am compensating her and I'm giving her more care. So what I understood is, initially, in the initial phase, what they deserve, they should do. And otherwise, adulthood, you have to give extra effort. So according to you, in what age a student should give to a complex training, or that is like whether it is 12, 13, or from which age onwards we have to. Every individual is different, but still.
I think, Jemmi, this is a great subject for another 3 days webinar. Okay, but I'll make it too short. What you said, when I learned my psychology, I am a psychotherapist by profession. My MSc is in psychotherapy and counseling. Out of 99 parents, the first child is very strictly, very disciplined way they bring out. The second one is more liberal, therefore they are more agile and hyperactive. This is what is seen when you have 2 children. Don't talk about those ages where they have, my father had 7, I am the last 7th one. It's all entirely different. We all have been taken care of by elders. No father, no mother sometime. But this is what happens in bringing up children. The second question which you had, where education in India is good or America is good? Maybe when you talk about Finland is good, people say. I'll tell you, you must take an example where I don't know whether I told you, because every day there are so many seminars, so I keep on talking at different places. Lord Krishna traveled across states and stayed when he was 7 years old in an ashram. Kujela also traveled from Gujarat and reached the same ashram, crossing 3 different states of today's India. Both were from different environment. They came together to stay so that there is a social interaction. So learning system has to have this mingling. That mingling is very good in Indian system. That is our tradition. American system, they don't share tiffin, they don't share, each one has got single desk. Even father, mother, children, there is a separate bedroom, otherwise they cannot live together on same bedroom sort of a thing. They love, they can sleep together, if not they can sleep independently. I was having children after 10th class, 9th class, where I was talking to them on how to aspire to become graduates. There is an exam called SAT exam. That is for graduation entrance exam. Everybody has to write a SAT exam to get qualified. And you can look at DrTPS SAT class, in which you will wonder, I was teaching English to those students who took birth in America, speak better English than me, but their grammar is not good. Like Malayalam people will have to teach Malayalam grammar, right? So sometimes I wonder, we are much better because our education system is very strong and good. If I was not in India, I will not be able to do that. In America, it's not very strict that you should have schooling. You can have home schooling, because every parent has to go themselves and pick up. Very rarely people go in school transport. If you are going school transport, at that place where the child has to get down if the certified parent, understand certified parent, because there can be two wives, two husbands and all that. So you have to declare this is the parent of the child. They only have to come and pick up that child. If they don't, they will not even drop them there, take back them to school. Even in the 10th class, children are not allowed to go from the bus stop to the home alone. It is so insecure. I have a lot of stories to tell about the culture in West. When I stayed there, I learned a lot. There are good and bad in both Indian and, I'll tell you, up to graduation, Indian system of education. What India imports from, what America imports from India. There is a British television program. You just look at it. What America imports from India. There is a television program and it says that lot of IITians are imported from India to America. That is because Indian IIT system is one of the world's best. Got it? So don't underestimate Indian education. From the LKG to that grade is not good. Only thing, we have a population problem. Not everybody is getting. The society is not well educated and balancing is not there. Therefore, there is a chance of mixing it to good and bad. All that is a variety. But I'll tell you, if slight guidance is given, Indian students will excel and we will become much better than most of the other students because our basic education system is good. But we have a dilution which happened in these years where if you don't study also, you can get certificates. Up to 10th class, you can pass without anything. I remember when I went to my village, one of my friend who was my classmate came and we were discussing. Immediately my brother who is 4 years elder than me came. He was telling, yeah, your brother is also my classmate. I asked which class. He was there in 4th class. But then he was my classmate in 7th class. That means 4 years he failed between 3rd to 7th. But today, do anybody fail like that? If somebody fails, what will be the reactions of parents, you tell me? We are in a hurry. What are we doing? LKG, UKG, nursery, all KGs. I keep saying nursery, LKG, L kilogram, U kilogram, middle kilogram, and then 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 12. Somehow get them a graduation, put them into some MNC company, get them married. Those children again go start with LKG to PG. What are we doing? Why are we in a hurry? And in between, there will be a divorce case also filed. I used to tell, God has not signed your marriage certificate. Before that, you are filing divorce case. Correct? So we are in a hurry to move. We should have that patience. I'll tell you, it is not how you bring up your children make them different. How you educate them to live with the society makes them different. If your society is good, you have got good company, you have got good relationship with others, they will look at it and learn a lot of things. So good company, that is what is called satsang. Satsangatve nisangatvam. When you have satsang, you understand, I don't want, let me give it to somebody else. If you have that ability, you become the best. Vishnu Narayanan Nambudiri, one of the greatest professors of Kerala, told Marxism talks about who have and who have nots. But India talks about who had but left everything. So we want those people who had left everything. You were asking about camp. Maybe 22 camps I made. You know how much money I made? 0. It's all free. I give that responsibility to one of the camper to collect money and distribute to those people who serve there the food and all that. That's what I do. Because it's my passion. I go back to my... You know why do I do that? Because from different parts of the world, 20 times from America, Anusha came and stayed there. See, that village have an interaction with somebody who is a beautiful person who has got seen the world around. And what they can supply to that student in that village is a great paying back to my village from me, which I will not be able to do that. So there is a great mixing up of society. The first day what I do is, as the children come, the first day or previous day they can come. Everybody will not come, 20 to 30 people will not come at a stretch. So one fellow comes, second fellow comes, third fellow comes. 3 people come from different parts of the country or the world. I will make a group and tell them, go and meet P.T. Karnagaran Nambiar, who is my eldest brother who is staying in the other end of the village. But don't directly go there with somebody's guidance. In a village, if you ask somebody, they will tell you, come, I will take you there. Don't entertain that. If you ask where is P.T. Karnagaran Nambiyar's house, then they will tell you this is the way. But then ask him all the life of his experience, details. Assume that you are asking in a shop. Generally in villages, shops are not crowded. So you are asking for a grocery shop. Then ask all the grocery item, its cost. Because they are all coming from Gulf or maybe it's from Germany. They don't know the cost of these items. So you talk to them. Sir, we don't know the language. Don't worry. Your job is to find out whichever language you use. Understood? And write down and make a beautiful note. What I give is only a beautiful note and a pen. Go. And this is the person whom you have to meet. And before reaching P.T. Karnagaran Nambiyar, my brother, you have to meet at least 20 people and get the details about 100 people, the relatives, friends and everybody. How much knowledge they will gain, you tell me? And once they come back, they will tell you, sir, in my life, I never spoke to this many people in my life. I never learned this much in half day. And I'll tell you, no lunch in the first day. I'll tell wherever somebody gives. You go to somebody's house and ask, DrTPS camp, I am going to find Karnagaran Nambiyar's house. I want to know your details. I'll say, sit there. I will tell my story. And in between, he will give masala dosha to them or maybe banana to them. I said, don't deny anything from any house. You can eat whatever you want. The village will feed them. Actually, what I am doing is, I don't put a notice saying or a banner saying there is a camp happening for 10 days. These children will go to every part of the village and everybody knows that camp is happening. Next day, many people will come with a lot of items to feed. Everybody will come and attend my class. If somebody is coming, for all of them, food is also given in my house. So, though I have only 20 children or 25 children coming, there will be another 30 children or 30 parents, old people, everybody will come and become participants. One boy came and said, I don't know swimming, and the parents said, don't put him into, he is from Saudi Arabia. Vishnu, if he swims, he will get cold, asthma is there, it's a big problem. So, sir, don't make him to take bath. The parents goes, next day asked him, Vishnu, you want to learn swimming? No, sir, I will die. I have got my cousin who can sleep on the water. He is one of the best swimmers. He will meditate. You ask him how long you can be on the water. He will say as long as I feel hungry. That's his ability. I call my Papatan. He was a maths professor, teacher in my school. He was a headmaster, but he is a BP. He loves volleyball. He is all rounder. And I will pay Papatan. Vishnu is your student. Though he is in my camp. Morning 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Take him into water. Make him to learn swimming in 2 days. See, parents said he will get asthma. But 2 hours in water, no asthma. Before going, I will give him a medicine. I am also from an Ayurvedic family. Put them in water, but before that, give one kandari. You know what is kandari, right? Put one kandari in mouth. No asthma will come. The whole respiratory system will start firing inside. These are all small tricks. So, I don't even have a doctor 25 kilometers and around. You can imagine 20 girls and 20 boys staying in the house. If anything happens, all these are part of our experience. This is how I take care of my children. That's how when I go to Saudi Arabia, those parents and everybody will take care of me. I don't have to do anything. They will call me there, accommodate me there for 10 days. I will stay there, do my camp there also. So, I do camp in different places. Kottayam I did camp. Yeah, I think Kottayam was one camp. Kodungalur I did a camp. Iringalakuda I did a camp in my wife's house is in Iringalakuda. I did a camp. I did a camp in Abu Dhabi, 1 month camp. And I did almost 3 camps in Columbus, Indiana. See all those camps. Residential camp DrTPS Columbus. Today, 2019, July 30th in the camp, I was teaching them how to make flowers from the paper. I was teaching them crafts. And I make beautiful flowers. I make a lot of craft items. That's how I do. So it's all playing. It's wonderful, enjoying. We will have something in Kuttatukulam or maybe at your college we will have with all the selected children for make them really wonderful creative people.
Try to make a program.
Yeah. Sojan can contribute the whole contribution to your college. DrTPS is rich enough for my cup of tea. That's it. I don't require anything. I am rich, much richer than many people because I am rich for my cup of tea. That's it. And my staple food is kanji, you can imagine. Got it? Take pesaradu.
We can afford to manage you also.
Kanji you can manage, then it's good. That's enough.
Yeah. We are getting a lot of feedback in the chat box, particularly for organizing these sessions, and also for the members who are available here. You can also go to our website. We are already close to 17,000 participants with this webinar and other FDPs. And to this we will add, and there will be a lot of exciting, and I think this is one of the best one which we can say that. And among very few people, I remember that only Dr. KPJ Reddy sir of Indian Institute of Science, when he came for an online program, he said that, Sajanlal, I don't have any PowerPoint, because if I come with the PowerPoint, that 1 hour will be restricted, so that I'll be very free mind. I can speak anything in the world as I move. Otherwise, you'll put me under the frame. So I can listen from this. DrTPS also same thing. And ocean of informations are plenty and coming over here. And I think that this is a very rare scenario where we are getting this many feedback from the people. And also I can see from the faces of many people that they are really enlightened, and that small spark, like when you said about that IPS officer who come and hugged you in the class, and later after 3 years he again come and talk to you. So like that, I wish that this program will be so much inspiring, and we as an MBITS, we are so lucky to have you. Met in the KL University, and in the previous first day, DrTPS was mentioning that he only messaged me saying that. And of course, always before selecting any of the resource person, we normally look into the background of the people, because that was my first interaction. But again, I'm very glad that I did not miss any of the messages which I got. So TPS initially messaged me. Then I attended many of his programs because I was fortunately in the broadcast list of his, and that is how I came to know about him, and he was very happily accepted this. And also I asked him, sir, with all this knowledge and wisdom, and will you be accepting anything else, or you would like to have, as rightly he said that he is very rich enough, and he doesn't want anything other than a good platform to deliver his speech. That was also very much motivating for us. And again, as an MBITS, as well as Mark Basel group of institutions, which has started from 1935 onwards in this Kodamangalam region. And we are really glad that this was really helpful for many of the students. And because of the time constraints, and this, let us call this as starting of the programs with this, and let us hope that many others who are attending also will call you for many of the sessions.
Yeah, already I think Vijayan ji from Kochi, already we fixed up a program on Bhagavad Gita's messages for the today's life. August.
Vijayan is my ex-colleague.
Yeah, we had a good dialogue. We had a good dialogue. He is from.
Is married to our famous
Gangadharan's, and Gangadharan is my neighbor in Iringalakuda. Gangadharan is my neighbor in Iringalakuda, and Vijayan is my neighbor in Payyanur.
Okay,
so world is very small.
See him in the,
yeah. Ramantali is a place where I keep traveling.
Over here. Oh, very nice to know all these things.
Yeah.
And we will, I think, over to Bhavana or Dr. Swali for completing the session.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
And also the feedback section, kindly fill the feedback section, and whatever comments you put, I think you can also put in the feedback so that it will be a record for us for the later also.
And that is for Sojan. For me, send WhatsApp.
Yeah, we'll also share it.
So can I just speak for a second, sir?
Akhtar.
Yeah, please go ahead. Akhtar Banu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very good morning, and really elated to be a part of this FDP. And sir, as far as Dr. TPS presentation is concerned, a line of Wordsworth came to my mind. spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings is what is true in his presentation. Poetry is spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, he said, and the presentation of Dr. TPS is of that type. And my take is a line from Ulysses: to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield is what the message Dr. TPS has given. It's really great, sir. We'll do that. We'll keep working, we'll keep striving, and we'll keep our classroom teaching effective, and also we'll carry all these things to our things around and all the people.
Thank you.
In the society.
You're all
Thanks,
torch bearers. You're all torch bearers.
Yes, sir.
Because
Yes, sir.
teachers are
We'll do
gifted.
that. We'll do that.
Anybody else would like
Thanks,
to
sir.
give the
Thank you very
feedback
much.
can come on the video and say maybe one or two people. Anybody else? Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, we are very grateful because from the words of the Dr. Banu, it's very clear the intention of the webinar is fulfilled. Thank you very much, sir, for this words and your presentation, everything. All the participants are benefited. So thank you very much, and we are looking forward for further sessions, sir. Thank you.
Thank
Dubai
you.
is
And
also
thank you
raised the
all
hands.
thank you all. the
Dubai is
participants.
also raised the hands.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Really, the very first day, actually, I didn't have breakfast with that. By listening to your motivational speech, I was inspired. I liked your speech very much, sir. And I am also in motivating students. I like that. So I have learned a lot from 3 days session, many things, sir. And you are not in one direction. It is like omnidirectional. You have knowledge in all directions. And that is what a teacher needs it. And like a mentor, how we have to motivate students, not only on the subject, we have to make the students learn in all disciplines. Very nice session, sir. Nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. This is Dr. Isaac. Can I say a few words, please?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
So I'm from Anantapur. I've been part of all the wonderful webinars and FDPs during this pandemic session since November, if I'm right, 2020. At the outset, thank you very much for giving us yet another opportunity to be part of such wonderful webinar. One thing is that that passes my mind is that we had just one speaker, one mentor for 3 days. But then let me very promisingly say on behalf of all the participants, sir, it has been such an enlightening FDP when it's paralleled with the other FDPs or webinars having Dr. TPS, who literally tapped all our psychological resources. That much I can say. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you very much, sir, once again.
Anandapur is very close to my heart because I had 100 volunteers
Yes, sir.
where I did 10 days workshop for them. And I told them, you want to equip 10th class children to write a 10th class exam fearlessly, go back to your schools and gather them. When I told, I thought they may gather 300 children.
Yeah,
But
I
the-
have yet another colleague, Dr. Afrozuddin, who is a participant here. Both of us have been nurturing the students where we teach language and phonetics. And then we also teach postgraduate students. We attempt a few literature papers. And the way you put things literally has helped us rejoice, because some of the points that you have mentioned, we have been following that, and we are literally engaging students to be part of it. We speak less and ask them to do a lot. And the response, when we think of this, and after hearing your 3 days interaction with you, just though we did not interact much, we were keen listeners and observers, and it gives us lots of joy that we are part of the FDP, wherein you are the one who has been mentoring us for 3 days. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And there were occasions when you were mentioning a few people who were our professors. On the first day, you were mentioning a few known people, and one of my friends was a colleague who was working in a few universities who were part of your programs. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Dr. Isaac, sir,
Yes, sir.
I was mentioning that about 17,000 plus participants were attended, and we are since last year we are doing this. And this is the only program which run for 3 days.
3 days.
With a single resource person.
That's what I mentioned, sir.
Programs, we had at least 2 to 3 resource person per day.
Per day,
we have done it.
3 sessions. That's how it went, sir. I was an integral part of it.
Yeah, single webinar also. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for your time.
I had in Anandapur 10th class 3,600 children for 6 hours continuous. 3,600 children because they pulled from different schools.
Imagine, sir, how they will be enjoying your days.
And నా తెలుగు కూడా బాగలేదు, అప్పుడు బాగలేదు, ఇప్పుడు కూడా బాగలేదు.
Parvalet, sir. You are multilingual. That much I know.
Okay, Bhavana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And it was such an honor, just as Sergeant Sir, Soni ma'am, all the delegates said that it was such an honor to have you with us for all the 3 days and to listen to such a remarkable and phenomenal person like you. It's a great pleasure. And now I invite Assistant Professor Soumya Marcos, FDP Coordinator and IQAC Joint Coordinator of MBITS to deliver vote of thanks.
Okay, am I audible?
Very much.
Yes, Smith.
Okay, sir. A very good afternoon to everyone present here. Today we have reached the last day of our 3-day National Faculty Developing Competencies for Self-Directed Learning, organized IQAC MBITS in association with Institute of Engineers India, Kochi Local Chapter, Kerala. And today's topic was skills for developing design thinking learners. I think it's a very relevant topic for the day. A leader is a man with lots of design thinking. Design thinking provides a way to think about creative work and problem solving. Design thinking leaders know how to act as a catalyst for creativity. On behalf of all IQAC members, staff and students of MBITS family, it's a great honor and privilege to stand before you to deliver the vote of thanks. At first, I would like to thank our dear principal, Dr. P. Sojanlal, for giving IQAC for the opportunity to conduct such a wonderful and informative program. He is always with us as the pillar and support for all the activities of MBITS, and he supported a lot for this FDP also. As a coordinator, I express my sincere thanks to you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. T. Ravindran, Chairman, Kochi Local Center IEI, Guest of Honor, Mr. A. Chandrakumaran Nair, Airport Director, CIAL Kochi, for being with us the first day of FDP in the busy schedule and also delivering an inspirational speech during the FDP. So thank you, sir. Then I would like to take this opportunity to thank our keynote speaker, Dr. P. Sasikumar sir, for this wonderful session. And the lecture which was given by sir was very interesting and also inspiring one. And the MBITS is conducted almost 36 webinars and FDPs for the year 2021. And this is the 37th one. And I think this is the only webinar in which the participants are very much active in asking questions and also made the session very interactive. And the interactions are also very outstanding. This shows the power of our keynote speaker. Sir, you covered the topics quoting different examples which made the participants motivated and thus made the program so impressive. Sir, on behalf of all the members in the MBITS family and all the dear participants, I express my sincere thanks to you. Then the joint coordinator of the program of the FDP as well as the IQAC member, Assistant Professor Bonia Jose, she is always with us for supporting all the activities of IQAC, and I take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Bonia for the support she had given and also for today's welcome speech. And I am thankful for Dr. Soli George, IQAC coordinator, who gives us good directions and support for the successful conduction of all the activities, and also all of the IQAC members, especially Dr. Sunny Kuriako sir, Assistant Professor Manju George, Assistant Professor Nidish Eldo Baby for their speech on the previous days. And the support of System Administrator Mr. Eldos Varghese has to be mentioned. special emphasis. He is doing everything for the FDP without any hesitation, and not only for the program but also all the webinars and FDPs conducted by MBITS. Our sincere thanks to Eldos. Also, I express my gratitude to all HODs, deans, and all other staff members of MBITS for always with us for the conduct of this FDP. And also, I would like to thank our comparing girls, our students, Bhavana B. Ramesh and Julie Marian Jacob for being with us throughout the day. Thank you, dear ones, for your efforts. And words are not sufficient to thank our dear participants. Without participants, this FDP will not be a success. We have almost 160 participants, constant participants with us from various areas, and I could find many dignitaries in the participants list. Our sincere thanks to all the participants for the wonderful sessions and discussions we had. Once again, thank you all for being with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. There is a saying which goes, what feels like the end is often the beginning. Even though we have reached the end of the 3-day faculty development program, I'm sure it will be a new beginning to you as a better mentor, better teacher, better leader, and much more. Once again, thanking all of you for being a part of the National Faculty Development Program conducted by Internal Quality Assurance Cell of MBITS in association with the Institution of Engineers, Kochi Local Chapter. We'll wind up today's program. Thank you all for joining.
You can see the today's message of leadership and design. The program is designed so well, and the leadership under Dr. P. Sajan. If Dr. Sojan doesn't know how I am going to perform for 3 days also, he had the courage to take that step. So I salute you for that courage, because most of the people don't have courage. So what do? They will put some 2-3 people, and they will also see where do they get fund from, so that put that fellow also inside. Though you may not like him, you will have to suffer him, right? So therefore the whole program becomes only dilution. I don't enjoy such things at all. So I enjoyed this because I was entertained for maximum number of time, right? I am sure everybody loves to be in the focus. Correct or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I loved it because questions were addressed to me. So I enjoy and I am enjoying. So every day I have got some sessions. But anything which is academics is much more interesting and capturing, because it has got a long-term effect. So today also I have got what India needs. That's what the series of discussions which is happening for last 10 days, it's over. Today we have somebody from Wales, and yesterday we had somebody who was from Patna, who is empowering children. That is his mission. So we look at people who are making money. We also look at people who are doing social service. We had different maybe people from
will help for the future, sir.
Yeah, paper, all of them. We are using most of them, and August 1st we are starting Bhagavad Gita under the United Nations. Send some WhatsApp so that you will be in my all your chat is being already posted to me by my mentee. Everything is copied and sent here. So that's why I don't want, knows that I cannot read, so everything is grabbed here and send it to me. Okay?
We are also capturing, sir.
Thank you.
So that is good.
God bless you.
So it's a really good time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.